Okay, welcome back to the channel. So in this bonus video, I wanted to kind of stop and I wanted to show you what we've been starting to build. And I purposely didn't do this at the start of um, this series for AI because sometimes, when we need to learn something, um, and we need to learn something kind of quickly. Sometimes, just kind of diving in kind of really kind of, um, helps maybe kind of a little bit with the mental clarity on items. And then kind of sometimes taking a breather and a breath and a step back can also kind of help, um, you know, to understand why we are really kind of doing this. So, you know, I think you know yourself that if you work in anything to do with IT, the world has gone really, crazy about AI, and AI has, influenced everything, and it's touching all parts of technology, um, and all industries really, um, a lot of people are actually using AI um, to, make their work streams, their life, you know, repetitive tasks, automation, trying to find information, all of those types of things, quicker and easier for themselves. And, AI can be a great companion, great tool, that you can use, you can leverage, it's got great information. With AI, you always have to be kind of checking and controlling that everything is, as you would expect it to be. So keeping that kind of human element to it is also kind of important. But if I kind of um I kind of drew this out here to kind of show you what we've been kind of building, because I want to kind of, as I sort of say, take that little kind of step back. So in number one, we kind of, just had an actual Docker Compose, and we now know that, a Docker Compose is just, a type of configuration file for automation of actually kind of, in this case, running to a prompt over to an Llama model, and that was simply, kind of project one. Project two was where we actually put like a web user face onto it. You know, project three was where we did the same, and we also had a kind of a user interface, but we started to look a bit more into kind of, Docker models. So, there's the Llama type model, and then there's an actual Docker models which have been kind of built into Docker now. And then we kind of looked at number four, which was where we started to, have a quick kind of glimpse into N8N workflows. And now we've kind of started on, number five here, um, which is this kind of flow here. And as you can see, this is where we're using a Docker flow over to the Postgres, over to the vector DB, over to a Llama model, over to N8N workflows, and then you could call potentially like an API or, Python script, as I was saying in the video. Um, I purposely didn't get into you know, highlighting all of these because I just wanted to kind of show you, the actual N8N actually running. But, you know, in the next number of videos, what we'll actually be doing is we're going to be expanding these, components out, probably kind of one by one, because they're all kind of components of AI. And as you work in AI and as you work in technology, understanding these components, you know, is critically important. So I purposely didn't explain these, right now at this kind of this time, because you know, I'm going to sort of say that most people will actually kind of know what a kind of an SQL type database is. Some people may have kind of heard about it, a vector DB. Some people will know probably, what the Llama model is. If you didn't, you would have kind of known it from here. And then, now you've kind of understood what an N8N workflow is, um, but the kind of point of this is not to kind of overload, with kind of information. And just make sure that we could kind of get the N8N workflow running. But as we kind of get into more videos in this series, we're going to expand on these, and we're going to understand, especially in the next video 6, we're going to learn some great kind of components that are coming up. But I also want to kind of show you something here that I kind of found as well, that if you find yourself getting a little bit let's sort of say, if you're running like myself, kind of here I'm kind of using a Mac to kind of run all of these samples, and again, these are just kind of for learning purposes. So I'm purposely calling them the same name as the video, so that your reference is kind of easy to find. But as you can sort of see, it starts to kind of build up. These kind of learnings start to kind of build up. So what I'd sort of say is, in the notes themselves, I've checked in all of the notes here, and in the notes themselves, I mean, you can kind of go into like even the latest kind of notes for video 5, and you can actually sort of see, there's kind of commands here, which they will help you remove a lot of your old images, old containers. They'll be able to make you kind of stop a container. You'll be able to kind of remove all stopped containers altogether. You'll be able to remove an image, and you'll be able to remove all images that you don't need. I've kind of found that, as um the more samples that you kind of build, maybe a little bit of kind of cleanup to remove old images and old containers is a good idea. So I'm kind of leaving those there, but you may get a little bit of kind of problems if you do see any kind of issues or problems. Just maybe kind of look to sort of see, if have you got anything else kind of running. Like if I kind of just do like Docker container list, if I kind of go in here, and this was where I was kind of running the last sample for number 5 here, and I just do kind of Docker container list, and you sort of see, like, I don't actually have anything, but if I kind of do Docker image list, it's starting to kind of build up here, so I can sort of see, there's a number of kind of um images that are kind of building up here, and if there was a number of containers building up, they may kind of start to cause kind of problems. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, that the first few samples that we've basically kind of built up, they are just for like an introduction to AI. And I think now it'll start ramping up, where we'll kind of get more in depth into all these types of things, Docker modeling or Llama models. And this was just kind of getting your feet wet, basically, first of all. So I just want to kind of point that out, and I really appreciate your support and watching these videos as well. So if you can, please like and subscribe, and we'll kind of learn AI together. Thank you.